Hey and welcome in today. Today you're joined by me, Daniel. And as well we have Nuclearbee in. You can check out her work at nuclearbee.nz, and she has some awesome art here. You do art prints, I believe you do. I've seen t-shirts. I think you do too, or stickers as
Yeah,
well.
I do t-shirts, hoodies as well, and some stickers as well.
Awesome, awesome. Um, so I've done a painting last week as
Nice.
of Tigrex. So if you guys watching, you can see me. I'm doing a extra paint over where I'm doing color as well. Because I decided to this time kind of chop it into parts. Um, yeah. So yeah, just tell us a little bit more about yourself.
So in the last year or so, have um, started dedicating to art more. It was just a hobby before then, and that's when I decided to make a website. But before then, I just had it as a hobby. I worked in insurance for about 5 years, so bit of a change. Yeah, I like to do different kinds of art. As you can kind of see from the website, there's not really
Mm,
one style there. Um, a few different mediums as well.
yeah, well, that's cool. Yeah. Was it has it been a kind of an, a quick shift where you were like, oh, I'm just leaving work and starting this out, or was it gradual?
Um, it was kind of a quick shift. I've sort of both, I guess. I decided that I just needed a change of pace, really, and then um, deciding to do art kind of became more as a result of that. And then yeah, just building up momentum is a gradual thing really with these kinds of things. I'm sure you can understand.
Mm,
Um, but yeah.
yeah, it does. It does. Take a little bit of time. Um, so yeah, you've been creating for quite a little while. You're saying it must have been.
Yeah. I guess I did art in high school, but I didn't do any tertiary art after that. So I'm 24, so that was 7 years ago. Um, and then I stopped a bit after then,
Mm,
wasn't doing it too much, and then started picking up more and more in the last few years, and now I'm yeah doing it as much as I can really.
awesome. That's all good. I think some of us do have like a stop, sometimes
Yeah, yeah,
have a
yeah,
breather. Um, for me, I've always been drawing and creating. Um, you know, there are times that I'm less, I guess, less creative or
yeah,
doing have done a little less, um, but I've always kept at it and kept going and kept drawing. Um, I just can't stop myself, I guess.
yeah. You have peaks and lows, but you always come back to it in the end.
Yeah. Um, but it's pretty cool, interesting. Um, and what would you say your current work life situation is?
So at the moment, I am just doing art for work. I have some savings and things to supplement me in the meantime, essentially. But I might do some part-time work soon. But otherwise, yeah, just using art at the moment. Um, just because I wanted to be able to. I knew that I wouldn't be able to get myself set up if I was working full time at the same time.
Yeah. It
Um, it
it
was
yeah.
gonna be far too much, so
Yeah. Well, that's fair. It's a challenging role. Because I've worked full time, probably a good. well, it's 6 years at the job I've been at now, full time.
Yeah.
Um, but before then, I was doing, I think, a year or two, and that was random. Like, it wasn't a set hours. I had some
Oh, yeah.
weeks where I didn't have any work at all, and other weeks where I would have like a full week roster and I barely got time to paint. But then um, I would still have my weekends usually. So yeah, it's very challenging, but it can, you can get it done. It is a slower pace. Um, then yeah, what you are delving into now is doing it full time.
Yeah, definitely. And it also, I think, comes down to people as well. I'm not as good at self-motivating if I have too much on my plate, if that makes sense. So, I think other people would be able to be more productive. Oh, I definitely are able to be more productive and that sense, get more painting done after their day at work. But for me, that was, I did it, but not as consistently as I would have liked. So,
Yeah, I mean everyone has their kind of quirks, but uh, kind of where they thrive.
yeah.
Some people, yeah, they really thrive under pressure, under having lots of tasks to do, um, and multiple things to do, like um, having different projects. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and it's a thing I play around with because sometimes I would focus in on just one project at a time. And that works well for a while if I'm like working on a big project, and I just focus in on each painting and each creation they're doing. I just do that for the week,
Yeah.
um, and that it can work quite well. But I do see sometimes where there's potential there where I can slip in another project. Um, like there are times where um, I might feel tired of that project, I can go to the other project and be like, okay, well, I'm tired of painting like this Tigrex
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
moment because it's just, yeah, it's too much going on. I can't figure it out right now, so I need to put it
Yeah,
down.
if you get in a block kind of thing on one
Yeah,
painting.
a block on one piece, and then you're like, okay, I got a block on that one, so I still feel creative, but just so I can still use that energy to something else.
Yeah, just need
Um,
to change directions for a little bit.
yeah, and that's the thing I have played around with. I think the last couple of years really because I have like at times of just been focused in on one painting. Um, but then during the week I'd notice, yeah, there are some days that I would be like tired of it. I still try and push through it, but I'm not really getting much done. um where maybe if I sometimes if I go another direction, do something else for a little bit, um yeah, it helps.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I find I've that's definitely one of the ways I do things, and, like, I just have to maximize how many projects I'm allowed to have ongoing at one time after a certain point.
Mm, definitely it takes a little while to like figure your sweet point, I guess.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like, I like to have one I'll have one big piece that I'm working on, but a few other things that are little and that I'm just kind of, or, like, practices of studies or things that I'm doing, so that when I'm sick of doing one thing, I can switch to the other, or, I can do something more casual while I'm watching TV instead of when I'm blocking out, a painting for a few hours, kinda.
Yeah, definitely. um I was wondering, have you had any like rough times or experiences that you managed to like pull yourself out of artistically?
Um, Definitely when I was starting all of this, um, it's easy to start feeling like you're not, like, artistically, like, your what you're making isn't actually worth the presence you're trying to create for it, if that makes sense. Um, like, kind of like imposter syndrome. Uh,
Yeah.
you see, especially when you, because of as part of it, I've just been looking more and more as well of what does the art industry look like, and not in a sense of like who's my competition, but more just learning from other people in the business. But as if that you see amazing artwork and you're like, wow, I don't do that kind of thing.
Mm,
But just um, reminding myself that can't, or if anyone else is in that sort of situation, that your art is still, like, you don't have to be doing what other people are doing for your art to be good or worth it, if that makes sense.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
comparing yourself does not really help in the most part, unless you're actually doing a study of,
Mm,
you're trying to replicate something for the sake of learning, then it, yeah, does more damage than good.
yeah. Basically, it's very challenging because I know a painter, Piper Theodore, um, and I am so envious of his work because he managed to do like a painting every day. Um,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that kind of thing as well, even if it's not a skill thing, it's just how much they can produce at such quality, and I'm like, I can't."
you know,
Yeah,
um, and oh my gosh, yeah, it does. It can take a negative effect.
yeah,
Um, but then you can look at it too as what they put in, what they do. Um, and I don't know, fully like his history of how long he's been doing this, and everything like that. But you can just see, you just know he's at least putting, 3 hours in for each one of those
exactly. Yeah,
paintings he does. Um,
yeah. It's a lot of work put into that, it's not just come out of nothing. Yeah,
yeah. So you can see that, and sometimes I even surprise myself if I do like one of these 90-minute paintings. Um, you're surprised at what you can do within 90 minutes. Um, so yeah, you keep going,
yeah.
because
We're our own worst critic most of the time. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
um, but yeah, we're all kind of on our own um journeys, and you gotta stick to what you
yeah.
are achieving and what you are putting in and everything like that. Um,
Yeah, and I think you don't have to be the best because there's always going to be someone better,
yeah.
pretty much, it's okay to just be good.
If you're going for the athlete, athlete artist, um, then yeah, then you'll be in the athlete artist category. The best painter in the world. Manages to paint this painting within 40 hours or something. The
Yeah,
Mona.
exactly.
You know,
Speed
um,
painting, gold medal.
yeah, gold medal. Um, but you just kind of get that gold, and yeah, yeah, that's it. You kind of get that end goal, and then what? You know, um,
Exactly, yeah,
yeah. You kind of, for me, I've always enjoyed creating, um and yeah, I won't stop doing it. Like, I don't think
yeah,
I could like live a week without being creative in some way or form. Um it's just like, yeah, it can be a little bit of escape sometimes.
oh, definitely, yeah,
Um but there's always something I want to do, like, uh something that captures me that I want to create, whether um, it's a story or creature or something um, that keeps me coming back to wanting to create. Um, yeah, so I think that's the
Mhm.
main thing that keeps me going, keeps me creating. Like seeing a good movie, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Music's a big one for me
yeah,
because I play a few in well, I mostly play piano, but, so it kind of and there's an overlap for me, for sure.
yeah. I play piano.
Nice.
Piano, no, it's not piano. I play guitar.
Nice,
Um,
feel good.
and I got that when I was like 14, 15. Um, but I wasn't really like I played it for a little bit and kind of got, I guess, tired because it was like not that great and uh, kind of
Yeah.
didn't really focus on it that much. Um,
Yeah, and you can definitely suffer from the, like, if you're not immediately good at something, it's not as satisfying as you wanted it to be.
yeah, I guess so. It was similar to that. Um, but I got into comedy quite
Oh,
a
no.
last year. I think it was early last year. Um, and then I decided to put that guitar into use for the comedy. Um, and that gave it more of a purpose. I was learning songs and chords for a purpose. Um, so that gives it more kind of light and interest in the matter. Um, yeah, and
Relates
same, yeah,
you
it's
wanna
same
do
for
it.
art. You get have a give it a purpose. Um, and you just go on your way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, awesome. I guess we're both kind of in the same boat where we're both like breaking into the industry, um, kind of a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's
How
awesome.
are you finding it so far?
It's interesting. Like yeah, I've been at it quite a long time. I did study. I studied for um 5 years. Um,
Nice.
yeah, at the moment, I'm at that stage of being like, I don't want to work anymore. I just want to create like full
Yeah,
like really like I've always wanted to full time, but this like is so much more now. Um, you know, um, and it's obviously been up and down. Like I said, uh, years ago, I was doing random jobs, so it'd be like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. It'll be like night shifts, whatever. Some days, some weeks, random stuff. Um, and then I went into steady, where it's 40 hours a week, and that was good. Because then I can jot down what hours I'm spending painting, and things like that. So I'm coming home, having dinner. About like 7:30 ish is the time I start painting, um, and creating stuff.
yeah, having a routine and, like, having work that you can have a routine around makes a big difference. Even if you're not someone that is so super stickler for routines, it still makes a massive difference.
Yeah, it does. And if you can get by with like part time, that's good because then you've got a little bit more time to do your creative stuff. But unfortunately, I don't have that option.
Yeah, I do. I'm very yeah, I'm aware that I am lucky to be able to do that at the moment.
Yes.
Even if it doesn't end up being permanent, it's still
Yeah.
had to take the opportunity while I could.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a long Tetris road. Um,
Yeah,
and I think my
very
latest
daunting.
my latest breakthrough is now, I'm doing 5 things a week that um, move my career forward, um,
Nice.
and that has
Oh yeah,
been
I think in your goal setting video, I did watch your latest video, and you got
awesome.
reached out to me.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. And yeah, I think that's a big impact because yeah, it gives me something,
Yeah,
um, a reachable thing, rather than like I was saying in that video, where you go and check it out. Um, yeah, having just be like, oh, I'll apply for a job this week, and then I might feel like to get a email or something. Sorry, you're not being picked, and then I'll just feel
yeah,
discouraged, and it'll be like another week or two, and I'll then apply for another one. Um, Whereas if I have these 5 things a week, those things to one side, I do not care about them at all. I could get 1,000 rejection letters. I'll still be applying for jobs and still be, editing my portfolio and all that stuff. Um,
yeah. Definitely, when you apply that process to it, and it becomes, I don't know, something you do more regularly, it becomes far less daunting
hmm,
after the fact.
awesome. Yeah, that's been our chat. Hopefully, everyone here, listening has found it very helpful. Any kind of last things you'd like to say, or
Oh, just thanks for having me on, and yeah, it was good to chat to you. And look forward to seeing the video. And well, I don't know that seeing myself talk will be terrifying, but but yeah, I'll definitely check out your videos in the future as well. Yeah, good to chat.
awesome. Yes, thank you. Thank you everyone for chilling in. See you in the next video.